Hello, class. I am going to record or re-record the orientation meeting as the screen is not here in the conference meeting. So I will record this using the screen that's blank, and you can see this in place in the conference. There was a little bit of confusion to the conference. We did have a question and answer session that um, went along with um, that was in addition to what I recorded. So, welcome to the class. My name is Diane Lebanowski. I am your nursing instructor. I teach this class. I will also be teaching the NUR165, NUR125, and NUR300. If you have not met me before in previous classes, I can tell you a little bit about myself. I have a pretty strong background in nursing education, and I've taught in various universities, clinical colleges. I have clinical experience. I am master's certified teaching online, and I have also taught online for several years now. So please take time to introduce yourself in the Eagle Guide Cafe. This is NUR165. This is your first pharmacology class. It is the only, the pharmacology classes at Eagle Gate are only online. I think you'll find this class a great addition to your nursing career. When you think about becoming a nurse, you will be most likely passing medications in some type of setting. And really, it doesn't take anything to pass a medication. You can pass that pill and not even think about it, but it is the RN who follows the orders, uses critical thinking. Should I pass this medication? Are there side effects? That's what makes us RNs. So this class is going to be one of the foundations for your nursing career. So let me tell you a little bit about this class. Um, First of all, if you need to get a hold of me, please email me or you can contact me on my cell phone. And this is my email address. And this is the course description. Now, hopefully, this is going to work where this will go up and down. And it is not. Let's try this. There we go. These are your prerequisites that you need for this class. It is a 3-hour class, and you will be completing work online, and you will be doing readings, and you'll be doing outside classroom. So please keep in mind that out of class time is about 90 hours. And when you're making or when you made that calendar in NUR 125, um, that gave you an idea of how to schedule time for an online course. And in this case, you should be scheduling time for this class as if you were showing up on campus and taking this class. So please make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to complete assignments and that you are not doing things Sunday night at 10 o'clock, especially the tests. And I will talk about that when we get to that point. These are your course learning objectives. I'm not going to go through that. You may read the syllabus and go through that. This is your textbook, and you may buy it face to face or online. You also need the Lippincott Solutions Nursing Advisor, which is also can be found online or in a textbook form. These are your library resources. You can use the LRIN, EBSCO host. These are your passwords. Always remember you can go back to the Pages tab, and that is where you're going to get your library resources. If you do need technical support, this is the numbers. The people that are working there are very nice and very helpful, and please make sure that you use them. Put in a ticket if you are having some kinds of problems. I will go over this briefly. These um, are course policies and pretty consistent with any other course you taught. When it comes to ethical behavior, that really will apply to the tests that you'll be taking. And make sure that when you're taking the test, you are doing the module tests without another computer up, without a book. This is in preparation for you to take the NCLEX, and by doing so, you will be a better test taker and you will be much more knowledgeable. Plagiarism is copying, so if when you're doing your discussion, make sure that you're giving credit to your sources. Late work, I cannot say enough about late work. All your assignments, your first discussion board post is due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The rest of your work is due on Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and that needs to be handed in at that time. Anything handed in after that deadline will be considered late. You may still hand it in, but the first day you will receive a 10% grade reduction, the second day at 20%, the third day at 30%, and after that it will not be counted. When it comes to taking the test, please make sure that you start that test early in the day if you're not taking it until Sunday. The test can only be taken one time. And if you have a problem with your computer, or if your computer breaks down at 11:30 or 11:50, there is really nothing we can do. So please take that into account and don't wait to the last minute to take that test. Attendance in these classes is essential. We take attendance on Monday and Thursday, and we do expect you to be online throughout the week during the first part of the week and the second part of the week. The first part of the discussion board must be posted by Wednesday at 11:59, and then the rest of the week we want to see activity, discussion posts, or it could be assignments or those types of things. So please make sure you are on the course at all times. Civility relates to really the discussion board, treating each person with respect. And one of the best ways to do that is make sure that when you are addressing your fellow classmates on the discussion board, make sure you say, "Hello, Diane," and sign your name, and make sure that you are not being rude or disruptive. And I'm not going to read through this, but you may read through this yourself. You will be graded in this class on discussions, exams, written assignments, prep you. There's a few Kaplan things, medication cards, those types of things. So you should be able to see that in the assignment, which I'll be going down in a few minutes. This is the grading scale, and these are your assignments that are due. So you have discussions, one discussion question each week for 14 weeks with the exception of week 8. You have unit tests, which are worth 50 points each. Those are very important. You have level 2 exams, which means you must require a level 2 to get 99 points. You have to then come back and reach a level 4, and you do that by retaking the quizzes till you get that, to get 169, 5 points. You have these 2 math assignments, and you have medication cards. So that is how you get to the 1,000 points. Your discussion is based on the discussion rubric. And if you follow this, you will get all your points. You need to make sure that you include a citation and a reference in your post, and you will get 5 points. Unless it's not scholarly, I don't consider Wikipedia scholarly. I would like you to start using things like nursing journals, something more than what you find that the common public would use. If you include a reference but not a citation, or the other way around, you would lose some points here. And if you don't put any literature in, you will lose points. Please make sure you're including a citation and a reference. When it comes to critical reading learning, we want to make sure that post is scholarly, that you contribute to learning. And I also like you to ask a new question at the end, as that increases critical thinking among your classmates. And that's what we want to be. We want to be critical thinkers. Netiquette means that you are civil, that you address your classmates by name, that you act in a responsible manner. Just know that if you do not respond to 2 of your classmates and you only post your initial post, you will lose 5 points in this area because we cannot grade you because you have not responded. This looks at your format, your APA format, and your spelling. And here you need to post first, your first discussion board post must be by Wednesday, and then you have to post on 2 different days to receive full points. So please make sure you're doing that. It's easy to start losing points if you're not meeting this criteria. This is the modules, and I will not go through each module. The first week we are looking at introductions and how drugs work within the body, and then we go from there till week 15. So that's where we're at with that. I'm going to try and, oh, I guess I don't have to do that. We'll go to the announcements next. The announcements are very important for you to read on a weekly basis. They give you much information. Now, this is my screen, so it's going to look a little different. But in this screen, you have the welcome to the class, how to do a medication card, how to get into Kaplan, the access codes to get into your class so you can take the Prep U courses, the meeting, resources, those types of things. So please make sure you read your announcements on a weekly, if not more often than that. Your discussion board is also very important. Every week you will have a new discussion. Let me just remind you to introduce yourself into the Eagle Gate Cafe. If you have any questions, please post them to questions to instructor. And then here's your discussion question for the week. So please read this, and then below I go into a little bit more detail, and we talk about what you're going to be talking about during the week. Sometimes this is divided into A, B, C, D. You answer this question, the rest of the alphabet answers that question. So please make sure you're aware of that. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is the pages module, because here's a lot of information. This is an orientation video. This is where you go to your LIRN, or you can go to OVID or another database down here, EBSCOhost. Here's your catalog, how to view your feedback, and APA style. Talks about, there's a full length or a condensed version of how to do APA style, how to use Office 365, and then any extra resources that you might need. So that basically is an overview of the class. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is how to be successful, not only in this class, but when you're taking tests. So you will be taking 5 modular tests. And what I want you to think about is when you take those tests, you need to pretend you're taking them in a face-to-face classroom. That means you need to find a place that is quiet, a good environment for you where you can take that test. And also, this could be a great place for you to study. So think about in your house. You have an office, you have a quiet dining room, a basement, an attic, a large closet, any place where you can go where you will have 75 minutes of quiet time where no one can find you and you can take this test. If you cannot find an area in your house, then I would consider going to the library and going to one of the back areas where it's quiet and take the test in that area. Sometimes it can be a school library, or it could also be in your community. So check that out ahead of time. Where shouldn't you go? Well, I wouldn't go to Starbucks. I wouldn't go to any coffee shop just because those are noisy places and can be distracting. And if it was me, I'd be picking out who was walking in. So any restaurant, not a good place. Any place where you can be reached by your children. And the reason I say that is you can spend a whole day with your children, but the minute you sit down and study or you want to take your test, they seem to know where you're at and you become very, very, very important. Please find a place, let them know I have this very important thing to do and I just need some quiet time. Do not take your test at work. Maybe if you're working the night, you might think, well, I can do this. Everyone's sleeping. I've had this happen